Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. It's great to have you on, sir. First, your reaction to what's going on with the border wall in Arizona.
Look, I mean, he's done nothing up until now. We'll take what he's giving us, but I'm sure he's doing it to help the senator win his reelection. It's a minor change. It's not going to have a dramatic impact on the border as a whole. I wish the Biden administration would do this across the border instead of just in a little place to have a story for the senator to tell during his reelection.
So it's in an open area of Arizona. It's the third most busiest crossing, and people say this is basically a new version of Ellis Island. People from around the world are showing up at this border area.
Yeah, but closing up a small location doesn't fix the problem. This needs to be a plan for the entire border, not just for one section of the border. Again, I'll take what I can get, but this is not going to change dramatically the number of people crossing the border.
So is Texas going to indefinitely send illegal immigrants to Washington and other states, like New York?
I sure hope so. I think it puts pressure on the Biden administration. It certainly shows some of these other states that haven't had to deal with the border crisis like we have, and they still really aren't. But they're getting a touch of it, and they're feeling it with just we're talking about D.C. getting close to, 0.1% of the total illegal immigrants that have come across the border since Biden's been around. They have a small touch. Imagine if they had to deal with 1%. Just instead of 4,000, she was dealing with 40,000. Can you imagine the outcry then? We're dealing with probably 50 to 60% of the border crossings, and no one comes to our aid.
Let's watch Edward Lawrence and Peter Doocy challenge the White House press secretary over what's going on with these stories. Watch this.
Okay, and on another subject, why is the Biden administration building a border wall in Arizona?
So we're not finishing the wall. We are cleaning up the mess the prior administration left behind in their failed attempt to build a wall.
I could, just off topic a little bit, what's the difference between Texas busing migrants to D.C. and the federal government flying migrants to, say, New York in the middle of the night in other cities?
It's very different because we're not doing it as using migrants as a political pawn.
Your word on that?
It's ridiculous. They are using it as political. That's all this is political. And the idea that that the mess was created by Donald Trump, all we have to do is look at the facts, look at the numbers of illegal immigrants coming across during the Trump administration during his last year or two versus what's happening now. It's up about 300% or more, and the reality is the numbers do not bolster what the administration is now saying.
Final word. 8 counties in Texas have now declared an invasion under the U.S. Constitution. When will the state of Texas declare one?
Look, that's a question for the governor, and it's a challenging issue because these border counties are being invaded. The state of Texas is being invaded, and yet most of these people are turning themselves into the border agents. They're not running across the border and avoiding it. They're actually turning themselves into the federal government.
Got it. Ken Paxton, thanks for joining us. Come back soon.